Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to take a quick look at two free asset packets from the Unity creator A3D. That's A3D. I'm currently at their page and I have it filtered by those two assets. They have like another dozen or so assets, and there's probably a couple others that I will review in another video, but I figured we'd do these two combined, A, because they're very small. They don't add any additional functionality, so there's no new components, no new coding, no new menus, just straight up visual assets. So 5 seamless tileable ground and tileable hand painted ground. So normal way to download them, I'm not going to go through the whole process, but remember it's Window, Package Manager, and then you set it to My Assets and download it from there. Now when it does that, the 5 seamless tileable ground package is fine. It downloads them into its own folder, as you can see, although my watermark might be covering this. However, when you download the other package, it creates these two folders, which are very commonly named, and it dumps some of the other assets into a top level folder here. I'm not quite sure why. I just used all the default settings. So I just want to call this out because if you have a folder called material or texture, and there's a very good chance you do because those are commonly named folders, I'm not sure if it'll overwrite your folders or if the installation package for Unity is intuitive enough to just include those files in your folder. So I just want to call that out so you don't lose any work. You might want to test that first. Okay, so what do you get? So for the 5 seamless tileable ground objects, you get this example scene. And the example scene isn't what you'd use for your project. You would use the materials, or if you want to start from scratch, you can use the textures. Remember, textures are just the image, whereas the material is where you now have applied effects to it, such as emissions and color and how many times it's repeated and things like that. And you can see it's already tiled. So when you see the next scene, you'll see that it tiles really well. So those are what you'll be using are the material and the textures. And this is just like a thank you, the README. So if you open up the example scene, this is what you're getting. And you can see, obviously this and this is the same pattern. It's just with a palette swap. Same for these two, but this one and this one look different, and that these are already tiled and they look nice and seamless, as the name would suggest. So these do look to be decent quality, not meant to be photorealistic, but certainly they would be good for certain applications. I do want to call a few things out. These are very basic, and I don't mean that as a criticism. I just mean that you can build on what you've got here. For instance, this one, you can see that here's the map, but they didn't do a normal map. So you could actually make a normal map and make this look potentially even better. I don't want to get into the details because I only just know so much about maps, but the normal maps, I believe, help with the way the peaks and valleys on the image look to affect the way light interacts with the image to make it look more three-dimensional. So again, you can see that it tiles well and that you can build on this to make it even more so. Now, say you wanted this to be reflective, you could do that. So like I could just make this metallic and make it smooth. And for some reason that's really dark. I'm not quite sure why. We'll just go in the middle. I know I've been messing around with a few of the settings as far as to get post-processing pre-installed. But if you're using this for, say, you probably wouldn't use ice for this one. This is more water. But if you wanted to make it reflective for some reason, you could indeed do that. So we'll just undo that. I'll show you that again on the ice one. I think it looks better there. So again, it tiles well and that you can build on this and add more effects to it. So actually for this one, let's do translucence. So rather than being opaque, let's go to transparent. We'll click on the color and there we go. That's better. So rather than doing reflective for this, you could do translucence. You could do both if you wanted to. And now you would be able to see something underneath that. Let's just quickly create like a cube. And let's move it under it just to confirm that, yes, indeed, you can see something under it. Let's just do this. And it's there. And let's just make the cube bigger. Actually, I am not seeing it under it. So let's try that again. There we go. Just had to make it more translucent. So you can indeed see through it. So again, he's given you these textures and these materials. You can build on what he has given you. Okay, so that's about it for that one. And again, you wouldn't use the example scene. You would use the materials or textures. And again, the other package for some reason dropped some of the stuff in the top level. So the materials and textures for this one are here. So if you're making any changes, you'd make them here. And we'll go to this scene here, which is a good showcase. Now this is the one that you'd probably do reflective images on. So even though I'm clicking on the object here, it's changing the source material there. So if maybe I made this one be metallic and this one be smooth, there we go, that looks much better. Still dark, but that's because when you create a reflective object in Unity, by default, it uses the skybox as to what's reflecting. So you would actually have to add in what's known as a reflection probe if you want the surrounding area to be reflective. But still, you could get like glare and stuff like that. If you have like lights in the sky and you have a skybox, it would reflect that. And I think let's do one more. This one, let's see if we can make this kind of glow. Now, what I've already done is I've already installed post-processing and I have already added the or did I? I thought I added the post-processing component. So let's add rendering post-processing layer. I probably did it for the other scene is what I did. Post-processing layer and post-processing volume. And we already chose a layer there. So PPL and volume PPL. And let's add, let's choose the one I already made. We'll choose that one. And that already has bloom attached to it. So if I do global, there we go. Everything gets a nice little glow to it. So what I was thinking of is if you choose the right color, you might really be able to make that lava pop. And I'm just kind of doing this freehand, so not sure how well it will come out. But you might find a color that makes that lava pop. That's all. So I think that's about it. That's really all I wanted to show you in this video. So 2 free asset packages by A3D, and he has a few other out there as well. And like I said, I'll probably review those in a later video. So generally, I don't like to have the free assets be reviewed because you guys really can just download them yourselves. However, I do realize awareness is important, that if you don't know these are out there, then you don't know to download them. So I will do some free assets from time to time, if nothing else, to give you guys the awareness to let you know that these assets are out there to be utilized. And like I said, he's got a few good ones out there, so I will probably do a few more in a later video. So that should do it for this one. I hope you have found this useful. And if there's other assets you'd like to see, just leave a like and leave a comment to let me know what asset you'd like to see, and I'll see if it's something that I can do a review on. And so that should about do it. Please enjoy the rest of your day.